I know the light's terrible and my head looks red, but it's the best I can do. I can see what I'm doing, and that's all that matters. I'm using the acrylic gloss. It's a devil to get a good finish on, but I wanted to give this window a bit of a tidy up while I was here anyway.
Meanwhile, down in the garden. Well, obviously I've had to take all the metal fittings off the window in order to sort of paint all that properly, and those fittings, they're okay, they're a little bit tired. I'm just going to give them a quick freshen up with a bit of the old Rustin's black satin paint. Once I can get the lid off, that is.
Oh, it's good stuff, you know.
I'm using this funny little brush, which is just right for this. It's actually really easy to paint with this stuff. It is an acrylic, so it dries almost instantly, and it doesn't leave brush marks. That's the thing. Normally they can be a bit gunky, but this one just seems to do the job. We see how it lasts. I even do all the little screw heads. There we are. Right, so while those are doing, there's a couple of bits that I couldn't bring down here to do, and those are those decorative bars that I've got across there. It's a little bit fiddly, but you can just about get all around it. Well, it didn't take long for those fittings to dry, so straight away I can begin putting them all back on. Some of the screws are slot heads. Inconvenient, but they give a traditional finish. I like to align my screw heads in a particular way. It's not surprising, is it? But as you can see, most of the screws I've replaced with crossheads on a previous spruce up. I wouldn't recommend these fittings as they are prone to rust, but they do look nice, don't they? Here's something that's been nagging me for a while now. Well, I've just got one little problem here left to solve, as you can see. It's just where the paint's lifted a little bit at the edge where moisture's got to it. I think the best thing to do, I'm going to run a little bit of caulk along, just sort of squeeze that in to sort of stick it all into place, and then later I can just put a little bit of that sort of bathroom paint on just that sort of lip, and that should be good enough. Went on there with a bit of masking tape at the end, obvious thing to do. Yes, I'm dragging the gun and it's gone on a bit wonky. But a bit of a wet finger soon sorts it out. What I have to do is take that bit of masking tape off in a minute, and then when that's all dried off, put another bit on and then paint it, because otherwise if I let the caulk dry under the masking tape I'll never get it off. I'm just using a bit of that satin paint. It's all the same to me. Oh, I've gone just a bit higher there. That'll do.
I'll need this, this, and a bit of this for the final stage. Limescale remover first, and a good scrub down too. Now for a good rinse off before the next stage. A nice buff up. And wipe down. I'm going in deep. What you might call a builder's clean. These things can really hold the dust. Even the recent paintwork gets a wipe down. As does the new radiator. The old basin, and right round the back of the WC. Don't want any marks on here. Now I'm adding a final buff up, with a bit of polish actually. And on here too. And here. And even here. And a final dry cloth to get rid of any marks. Not too much floor to do, luckily. And for finishing touches, a new bath mat, and a brand new hand towel.
Well, that was a pretty epic clean, but I think it's been worth it. Let's have a look at the finished result.
You've probably seen enough of this by now, but I must allow myself a little gloat for all my hard work. The woodwork is shining, as is the chrome work. And the basing. The cupboard has come up surprisingly well. And this new radiator has made a world of difference. as has the tap. All the paintwork is now fresh and clean. Everything is spotless, and my bits and bobs are back in place. And the plumbing's fixed. See you next time.